Hello, everyone. We'll be starting in a moment. Please bear with me. Oh, seems as though they've updated YouTube's thing, at least for the tags. Right. Okay. That's all done. I can close that. Post it there. I can close these. Whoops. Okay. Connection seems to be good. Everything's showing up. I think we're good to go. So, hi everyone. Welcome to another stream of Apollo Justice Trilogy, Spirits of Justice. Last time we had left off, we had started the second trial for Maya Fey, but for the one of like a different murder. Through that, we managed to find that, what was his name? Pure Zealot actually was not called Pure Zealot. He was called someone else I can't remember the name of right now, but he was called someone else, and he was in the secret hideout in the mountain where the rite of procession or whatever it was called was going on. And a rock fell on him, and he fell backwards and stabbed himself on a statue because the statue had rotated the whole way around, so he had impaled himself on that. Whether it was intentional or not, we don't know. Like whether he was killed with the intent of murder or if he was just killed at the same time or, you know, in a similar way. But yeah, we did that, and we are now about to do a spirit channeling with Maya for the spirit of Trust in me to see what he has to say. If anything was probably going to happen is that she does it. It's going to be one of two ways that I'm guessing it's going to go. Number one, it happens, but the spirit lies to protect someone that's actually close to them or something. Number two, Maya can't channel because she hasn't done it for multiple years. She either has forgotten how to do it, or something has stolen her spiritual power, and that's how the queen of this country learns how to do the spirit channeling, because she steals it from other people. I don't know. That's like a wild stab in the dark, but, you know, sometimes my wild stabs hit right on the mark. So, anyway, we're going to continue with that. We're going to see where this goes, and we're going to possibly finish this case today. Who knows? We might finish it next stream. But without further ado, let us switch over to the game and see where this goes. Hi, Ruffertron. How you doing? Ending goes hard? That's cool. Guess we'll find out how hard it goes. How did Stanfield go? I don't know what you mean Starfield? It's going... Okay... Like, I'm spending another week this week for Wednesday and Friday to see how it is. The first week was not as in-depth as I would like. So, yeah, this is probably going to be the last week I try it, and then I'll probably make a decision of whether I'm going to continue it or not. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. From there, sounds been picked up. You can refresh this. Yes, good. Let us go. Trial day 2, a short recess. Yes. Let's kick some trial butt. May 12th. High Court of Khu'rain. Accused lobby. Sorry, Maya, but this was the only way. Sure you're up for this? Thanks for believing in me, Nick. Even though I don't know if my channeling ability is on point yet. Oh, before she started training here, her success rate was only about 30%. I know you can do it, Maya. At least I hope she can. So, you're sure you're ready? Yeah, at least I think so. You don't sound so confident. What about all your training? Training's one thing. Actually doing it is another. Oh, I see. Uh-oh. If she fails to channel the High Priest, we're as good as dead. Because it's like, everyone was taking it as an insult. And if we can't do it, they're going to be like, yeah, kill them. Someone just brings out like a cannon because they just carry that. Relax, Nick, you can count on me. I'll show you what my training's done for me. This is all for the moment you'll never forget. Okay. Just hope it's unforgettable in a good way. Once we hear about Admit Idmi's story, I'm sure the truth will come to light. I hope so, but he was hiding the fact that he was a rebel, so I doubt it'll be as cut and dry as all that. They are ready for you. Please return to the Hall of Justice at once. Okay, Maya, I'm counting on you. You got it. Here we go. I will fail you again, Nick. May 12th. High Court of Khu'rain. Bring in the guillotine. We have received official approval for the accused to channel the spirit here today. Now, if you will, Miss Faye, please proceed. Yes, Your Majesty. I can't believe this. Only the Queen should channel spirits. Execute them, put them to death right now. Come on, Maya. I'm counting on you. I've been studying here to Khu'rain for 2 years now, so that one day I'll be a master of Khu'rain, a village of spirit mediums back home. But first I'll show you all of the fruits of my training in your kingdom. Wow, he seems really confident. Huh. A neophyte practitioner such as you could not possibly channel a spirit. Okay, Benevolence, how about this? If I succeed, will you stop calling me a neophyte? Very well, if you succeed. Oh, I will. Just you watch. She's become so full of herself now. She's like, watch this! We actually get to see the animation of her doing it. Oh, spirit of trust me, slumbering. I didn't catch us read that. Return now to the world of the living. I need to remember how I did his voice. What is this place? Oh my! No! This cannot be! Polkonka! It's the High Priest! The accused really can channel spirits! I don't believe it! The accused spirit power is real! Go Maya! I do not understand. This cannot be! This simply cannot be! I must step out now before I forget myself. Bye! I don't need you anymore. But in me. Would this be the Twilight Realm? Or what of this? Luxurious mane of hair. Is it perhaps a gift from the Holy Mother for decades of faithful service? But in me? My, but if it isn't his Majesty, have you two shuffled off that mortal coil? Please do not count me among the dead. It is only you who has passed on. Fun fact, according to the asinine, Rafer is only 4'10". Well, I mean, yeah, she's a teenager. So I expect her to be kind of small. 4'10", though. Still pretty, it's pretty tiny. the spirit medium Maya Fey has brought you back among us today. The hair didn't translate in the first trilogy. True. Why? Acolyte Fey has mastered the secret art of spirit channeling. I suppose that explains these gorgeous locks. When I pass from this world, I too hope to be channeled with a full head of hair. Oh my god. Although it may be for the briefest of moments. I give thanks for this splendid coiffure. Praise be to the Holy Mother. However, this kimono is a bit too snug for my tastes, if you would excuse me. Oh. There, that is better. Okay, I understand turning into the body of the man, or the person spirit, but getting the tattoos as well? Did we get this testimony now? I'm just gonna say, it's gonna be weird when she comes out of this and her shirt's not there anymore. You probably should dress back up when you're done. And I wish he kept his top on. Why are you that foreign lawyer? Why are you that foreign lawyer the people speak of as late? And this is not the hall of justice? Why have I been summoned here? Forgive us for calling you back from your eternal rest. But you have been accused of murder. Might we ask you to testify on your own behalf? What? I have been accused of murder? That is troubling indeed. What's with that crazy pose? Is this really the cause for such astonishment? Even the lowest of monks, or lowliest of monks, can achieve such body control with the proper training. Not that it's needed. Oh, I wonder if Albie will be able to do that someday. Will the defense please explain the situation to the High Priest? I'm too tired to explain everything. I'd be happy to. Your disciple, Khu'rain Zealot, has been murdered. It happened on the day before the purification rite. The crime occurred in the rebel hideout hidden within the inner sanctum. Acolyte Zealot? He's been killed. Who would do such a thing? Someone who knew of the hideout and had access to the inner sanctum. In other words, you, Abbot in me. After all, weren't you secretly a rebel? Oh dear. That's still Maya's body. I hope he doesn't break anything. And she comes back and says, why do my limbs feel so stretchy? Wow, the High Priest is amazing. To think he had mastered such an advanced prayer pose. He's still worthy of our veneration, even if he is a rebel. Praise be to the Holy Mother. Praise be to the Holy Mother. Oh my, have my rebel allegiances been exposed? Not even my wife knew of that. Seems to rest in peace is not my fate. Why did you, a devout priest of Khu'rainism, join the rebellion?
Objection!
The High Priest has come back to us for but a brief time, defense. Shall we not cut to the chase and ask the most pressing of questions? Oh, right. Abbot Inmi, the prosecution believes the one who slew both you and Acolyte Zealot to be Maya Fey, who had been playing the role of Lady Kira in the rite. Being that I was dead until just a moment ago, my memory's a bit hazy. Could you please do your best to remember?
Objection!
The High Priest says his memory is hazy. It's all coming back to me. It is as prosecutor Samadhi concluded, I was slain by none other than Maya Fey. The High Priest's statement has proven my assertions with regards to his murder correct. No! But what about Acolyte Zealot? You were the only one who could have killed him, right? I know naught about my disciple's murder. Furthermore, I have an alibi of my own. An alibi? 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 What? Why can't I read it? Seriously? Seems the testimony the defense had been hoping for is working against him. Now, Abbot Inmi, your testimony, if you please. His arms are so skinny. Yes, of course. I have an alibi. I have an ironclad alibi from the time during the murder took place. Just past noon the day before the riot, I was entertaining guests at my home. And I believe my guests can corroborate this. The day before? Well, yeah, so can the people that were there. You know, your mother, your wife, Maya, and the Zealot. You had guests. Just past noon. It's right about the time Zealot was murdered. Are you sure about that? Absolutely. Come to think of it, Rafa told me about a spirit memory. Or spirit's memory. Spirit memory is the code of the moment of death. So even a spirit who is brought back after centuries doesn't sense any gap in time between the moment of his death and the moment it is channeled. Yeah, and it clearly recalls all of the memories it had in life. The High Priest seems to know exactly what he's talking about. So the question is, what would be the best angle of attack? From the behind.
Hold it!
You use the word alibi. It's because there's a person here called Albi that I keep trying to say that. Alibi as if it were second nature. Are you perhaps mocking me? Or is it perhaps that the kingdom of Khu'rain itself you wish to ridicule? Come on, everybody in the grandmother knows what alibi means. We're not a bunch of country bumpkins here. We have plenty of courtroom dramas on TV. Peace, 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 I say. Mr. Wright, would you care to clarify your last statement? Please, don't take it the wrong way. It's just alibi is a rather technical term for a priest to use so naturally. Are you sure you know how to use the term? In fact, I had even hoped for a chance to do so one day. I suppose that even I, a high priest, am not immune to such trivial wordly attachments. Oh, I see. Still, he seems unusually calm and composed. It's almost as if he had prepared himself for something like this. Can I just immediately present it? Which starts at noon on the day before the riot and must finish by 3 p.m. So, yeah.
Objection!
I can't present it. There's something the matter. Sorry, that steak cream just sort of slipped out. Blah, blah, blah. Refrain from such rash outbursts here. Perhaps it was the charity free charges you might have. I'm not helping my case in the judge's eyes, both literally and figuratively. I'll just press for now. I was probably too early on the gun.
Hold it!
Guests? You were entertaining them personally? Sure, that I was. We gathered around the table for a most enjoyable conversation. He said his guests could corroborate his alibi. That can't be good for our case. Are you sure that was the same day as the murder? Maybe you misremembered? Do not doubt my mnemonic faculties. Also, why in the hell are you able to do that to your Magatama? I may have died, but my memories up to that point are crystal clear. Sorry. It's pretty thin skin for a priest. Well, I guess I should have known better than to doubt his memory. His memory is cut off at the moment of death. Why are you telling me this again? I already know. As brought back after centuries doesn't sense any gap in time between the moment of his death and the moment it is channeled. Yeah, it was clearly recalls all of the moments up to that point. Ah, there is nothing better than enjoying Ginger Hill cuisine with dear friends. That way, everyone's breath comes equally melodious. Right.
Hold it!
And who exactly were your guests that day? Don't tell me they were rebels. They can't be called here to testify. It was none other than His Majesty along with his family. He couldn't attend the rite due to work, so he stopped by ahead of time. My, how his daughter has grown. Wait a second. Let me set the record straight right now. I am not a rebel. Thank you for that wonderful meal, in me. Lady Inmi's cooking simply cannot be beat. So there you have it. When exactly was His Majesty at your home? He was there from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Indeed, precisely the time period within Acolyte Zealot was slain. Yes, we had a rousing chat concerning the game of Kachu Demal. But? I'll have that added to the testimony. After all, it was I who visited the High Priest's home. I guess that day were His Majesty and his family. They visited from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. I wonder, actually, where's that picture? There's no clock. I thought there was a clock here. They'd be like, oh, actually, it says 2 p.m. The way I'm reading this is that they have to start at noon and have to eat until 3 p.m. So they have to spend like 3 hours eating this stuff. That's the way that looks like it says to me, which starts at noon on the day before the rite and must be finished by 3 p.m. You can't finish it earlier because it doesn't say you can do that. It says you have to be finished by 3.
Objection!
Damn it. At least I get my spirit orbs back. Heard enough, the trial must not be drawn out any longer. The defense has failed to counter the charges. In accordance with the law, I kill you both with a gun. Bang, bang. Shot you down. Guilty. Into the spirit realm we go. Drive from this scene. Now, do I have to press on everything again, or do I get to keep the what I had before? I do have to press again. Stretchy, stretchy. Let me try pressing on it first, then.
Hold it!
Your Majesty, are you sure this testimony is completely accurate? Sure can be. Oh, how wonderful it is to finally have my actions that be admissible as evidence in court. His Majesty at my home during the exact time period of the murder. Come, let us put this behind us. I could not have possibly committed this crime. How can you be so sure? What if the clock or watch you were using was off, or if you misheard the time, or misread? There was a clock right near the table, and it had the exact same time as my watch. Now, do you understand, lawyer? How am I going to attack his alibi? Maya, what are you... Oh, right. She's kind of busy right now. What, is there something on my face? No, not at all. I just have to start chipping away at that statement about his alibi. Okay. Who am I consulting? There's no one to consult. Ugh, I can't find any inconsistencies in there. Maybe I just don't have enough information yet. I should try pressing the witness some more. More? I have!
Hold it!
Alright, let's go through all then. Again.
Hold it!
if it can't be skipped, that means that there's something new. That's why I'm just pressing the skip button. Oh, there we go. Okay. As you can see, my alibi is airtight. Or do you still think that I could have killed Acolyte Zealot? Ugh. Is Magistry a witness? Are you satisfied now? There is not a single discrepancy in Abbot Inmy's alibi. If I give up now, it's all over. Now hold on a second. Is there anything wrong with the High Priest's testimony? There isn't. I give up. Like I said, there's something wrong with the time, because in order for anything to make sense, he wouldn't have had to have the dinner with the other two. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, that's just a... I was like, is that a watch? No, it's a... I didn't even notice that before. Hey, the day before the rite. I'll say there is. There is a discrepancy in the High Priest's testimony. There is? Well, then perhaps you could explain what it might be. This is what was wrong with his testimony. He's too friendly with the judge. The prayer feast was short. He knew the time of the crime. Yeah, how did he know the time of the crime? He shouldn't know that. Because no one's told him. After Abbot Inmy was channeled, no one ever stated what time Acolyte Zealot was murdered. Now that you mention it. Despite that, you claim to have an alibi from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. That means you knew that Acolyte Zealot was dead. When you were still alive. His spirit got knocked out. Wait, I think I saw something just now. No, I must be imagining things. I mean, if you could see spirits, this definitely proves that you've got freaking spirit powers, Phoenix. Even more so. So tell me, how did you know what time the crime had been committed? About that. Open your heart, let the Holy Mother in. Why? We have been blessed with the Holy Sacred Priest's sacred prayers of were. What? All who serve her holiness must strive to banish worldly desires from their soul. Open your heart, let the Holy Mother in. Purge your mind of greed and bias. I feel as if my very soul has been cleansed. You can't fool me. Prayer may banish worldly desires, but it can't make a contradiction disappear. How can you be so sure? What's that supposed to mean? This lawyer seems to think little of the power of Khu'rain's prayer. Huh? Abbot Inmy was at home during the crime but knew of what happened at the hideout. I believe this can be explained thusly. He must have had a way to monitor the hideout from his home. So? What? You never cease to amaze, prosecutor. As he has surmised, there was a listening device installed at the hideout. We did see a microphone behind, like, the tarp. I remember that. It enabled me to instantly learn of anything unusual, even when I was not there. Remember, the rebels had been using this as a top-secret hideout. It would be perfectly natural for them to install such an apparatus. Wait, come to think of it, when I was searching the rebel hideout? There's something under the banner. A microphone? What's this doing here? Was something trying to record someone with it? That's the wrong way round, but it worked. That was a listening device? No, it was an ice cream cone. Yes! It starts recording whenever it detects movement. And I heard just such a recording after His Majesty and his family left. If you look in the desk in my study, you will find the tape in question. All right then, bailiff. Yes, your magistrate. Go retrieve the tape in question from the high priest's home. At once, your magistrate. The power of Khu'rain's prayer. Even a putrid brain as yours should understand it now. He prayed. That doesn't just suddenly provide evidence. What are you talking about? It's like the contradiction really did vanish. We shall ascertain the contents of the recording once we have the tape. In the meantime, I would ask Abbot Inmi to continue with his testimony. Very well. I heard everything. I was entertaining His Majesty and his family when the crime occurred. When I listened to the tape later, I heard a man and a woman quarreling. It sounded like an altercation between Acolyte Zealot and Acolyte Faye. After that, there was a loud noise followed by a haunting silence. I have to find some way to attack his alibi. If only Maya were here. She has a way of putting me at ease. But seeing her like this is only creeping me out. Although the High Priest was a rebel, he was still a Khu'rainist holy man. Therefore, take care of your questioning lest you invoke the ire of our people. They already hate me, fuck them. How dare he suspect the High Priest? May the Holy Mother strike him blind. As if this wasn't hard enough already. Nice try, but I'll stop at nothing to find the truth. I heard everything again.
Hold it!
You were entertaining His Majesty and his family during the crime. Indeed. My wife Beli was treating them to his wonderful home cooking. Your wife was there that day? Why, yes. She was in the kitchen cooking up the storm the entire time. Come to think of it, I don't think I saw her all that day. She takes her culinary duties most seriously, you see. That is why she was in the kitchen cooking without pause the entire day. So the judge never saw Miss Inmi. Or Mrs. Inmi. Should I have Abbot Zealot or Abbot Inmi add that statement to his testimony? It doesn't really seem relevant, but the fact that it's asking me makes me think it is in some way. Please add that statement to your testimony. As you wish. I have something in the back of my brain telling me that there's something here. Was there some point there was that mention that the wife went somewhere? I'll probably need to just press
Hold it!
now. What was your wife making that day? The menu that day featured Hatten soupes and methyl tenmut. They are both traditional Khu'rainese dishes. I can't even begin to imagine what those are. Can't even pronounce them. Oh, yes! The exquisite taste, zest of Hattin's sun. Of these things and the supreme texture of that thing. Lady Inmi's cooking that day was utterly unforgivable. Forgettable, not forgivable. Thank you. It brings me great joy to know that you enjoyed your meal. Now, once His Majesty and his family had left, You heard everything from a recording? Indeed. Each night I would secretly check what the listening device had recorded. I would have been in serious trouble with my lovely wife had she discovered my secret. Can you really tell what happened by this audio alone? Long years of aesthetic training has sharpened my hearing. It is but a simple matter for me to ascertain a situation by the sounds I hear. Practicing Khu'rain improves your hearing? Hearing is but one of the senses it can improve. If one can focus and attain inner peace, all 5 senses can be sharpened. And why the warbat over in the bazaar just cried, did you not hear it? Give me a break.
Hold it!
Hold on. Are you sure about those voices? Was it really Acolyte Zealot and Miss Faye? I'd say that it was the most reasonable conclusion under the circumstances. Or perhaps Acolyte Faye has an alibi that you can prove. I'm afraid not. Then I suggest you make make like a mollusk and climb up. Wow, okay. No, will continue my testimony if I may. You live in the mountains. How do you know about clams? You are not a true mountaineer. You should know nothing of the lowlands. Haunting sound.
Hold it!
A loud noise. I'd say that's worth looking into. It was a terrible crashing sound. Poor Acolyte Zealot. It must have felt so heavy. It must have been the sound of that stone slab falling over. Should I have him add that testimony to the statement? Or whatever? Words are failing me today. Please add the statement to your testimony. As you wish. I would describe the noise as a terrible crash. In order for him to know what that would have been, he would have had to know what it was that fell. But I don't know if I can present anything to that effect. Let me press him first. You believe that terrible crash is connected to Acolyte Zealot's death? Yes, the sound no doubt was poor Zealot's death now. Such a tragedy, for he was a fine disciple. I would ask all here today to give a prayer for his departed soul. Khu'rain matami yoma. Khu'rain mati yoma. Khu'rain mati yoma. I had high hopes for that young man's future. Why do I feel like such a jerk for just trying to do my job right now? Mr. Wright, do you still feel the need to question the High Priest? His alibi is as tight as can be. This isn't going so well. I better ask him about something else. I'm curious, Abbot in me. Did you stop by the rebel hideout after His Majesty left? Yes, I thought it would be wise to assess the situation. But as I said before, there was nothing to see. The hideout appeared as it always had. And the victim's body? It was nowhere to be found. Acolyte Faye must have already disposed of it and anything else incriminating. So, when you saw the rebel hideout, it looked like it does in this photo? Yes, I would say that is how it had appeared that day. So the stone slab had been put back into place. Okay, so there was something about that. It just... Okay. Mr. Wright, is it not time to concede defeat? No, wait, I just need a little more time. If you insist. Oh, we're just straight back into it. I guess that little bit of information is supposed to help us here. Which I guess would also mean that he wouldn't know that this was the thing that fell down, because if it was put back together, this would still look like this. So how would he know something heavy fell on him?
Objection!
A bit in me, you said, and I quote, "Poor Zealot, it must have felt so heavy." Why do you think he felt something heavy? You said the hideout looked like it did in this photo. If so, there's nothing that would lead you to believe he had experienced a heavy feeling. The fact is, of course, a stone slab did fall over onto Acolyte Zealot, impaling him on the Warbad statue behind it. But that was only revealed through her benevolence divination seance earlier. Would the defense please go to the point? My point is, simply hearing a crashing sound shouldn't have automatically led him to conclude the victim was crushed to death. I still don't see your point. How much more clear do you want me to be, old man? I'm saying the high priest knew. He knew that the victim was really killed. Oh, God. I was actually expecting this to go much further into the guy, but I guess this is the moment he got stabbed through the chest or back. Why? And that is information only the real killer would have known. Where his soul came out again. I definitely saw it that time. I've got the high priest spirit shaking in his boots. Or should I say sandals? He doesn't have legs anymore, Phoenix.
Objection.
Need I remind you of Abbot Inmi was with his majesty at the time of the crime. Such an alibi precludes him from being the killer. That's true, but he can't be the killer. However, he knew how Zealot was killed. Something only the killer could know. Can this discrepancy be resolved somehow? Well, Mr. Wright, we're waiting for an explanation. I was just getting to that. Time to think of something quick. The high priest knew something only the killer could have known because... he inferred it after the fact. He heard it during the trial. He heard it from the real culprit. If he heard it from the real culprit, that would make him not the murderer. But it would make him an accomplice. He heard it from the real culprit. I'm going to go with that. That sounds the most logical. He must have heard how the victim died from the real killer. Real killer? Of course, that makes perfect sense. I don't want to believe it, but this is the only possible explanation. So tell us, who is the real killer? It's got to be someone close to the high priest. Someone without an alibi. I knew it! It's his wife! It's got to be his wife! The person most likely to be Zealot's killer is...
Take that!
Your Majesty, while you were visiting the high priest's home, I even said at the start, it's like, you're going to be the Lady Kira that killed people. And then I was like, nah, that can't be possible. And now it's been proven true that I was right the first time. Oh. You didn't see Mrs. Inmi at all, did you? No, I never saw her, but... what does that have to do with anything? Did the high priest ever leave your sight? No, we were talking the entire time. And the food was brought right to the room's entryway. So the high priest has an ironclad alibi. But his wife does not. What the devil are you insinuating? I'm insinuating that Mrs. Inmi might have killed Acolyte Zealot.
Objection.
You have a lot of nerve making such a baseless allegation. She had no motive to kill Acolyte Zealot. He was like family to her. No. We can't entirely discount the idea. Especially if you consider that Mrs. Inmi could have been the one imposing as Lady Kira.
Objection.
Oh, but she's pregnant. She can't do anything. Even a fool must temper his foolishness at times. Or do you truly believe Lady Kira could kill Acolyte Zealot though he was not a rebel?
Objection!
As we all know, the High Priest was secretly a rebel. It would follow that his favorite disciple could very well be a rebel too. Are you suggesting that Mrs. Inmi killed her husband as well? As sad as it is to think she'd kill her own husband to get rid of the rebels, or Kingdom of Rebels, I don't think we can rule it out. Suddenly voice acting! Yikes! You claim my wife is that rebel-hunting Lady Kira? And that she slew both Zealot and myself? My lovely wife? That is utterly impossible. Yikes. I have never seen the High Priest so angry. It is as Admit Inmi stated. And the accused has already been found guilty of his murder. It is far too late to overturn it. That's right, Mr. Wright. Now apologize to the good priest before he gets angry again. Quickly now. No, I'm not going to apologize. The true identity of Lady Kira is a major piece of this trial's puzzle. Breathe, me. Breathe. Admit it, Abbot Inmi. Your wife, Lady Inmi killed you. Yet even now you continue to lie in an effort to protect her. How absurd! It appears the lawyer has forgotten. My lovely wife could not possibly battle the rebels in the guise of Lady Kira. For we were blessed by her holiness and she was with child. Praise be to the Holy Mother. I completely forgot about that. I didn't. I don't care. Suddenly being pregnant doesn't make you weak all of a sudden. Unless she's like 8 months pregnant or even like, well, 8 months pregnant probably extreme. But essentially, if she's like more than 6 months or 5 months or whatever, then yes, I can understand she would not be able to murder someone, at least like that. But before then? Like a few weeks? Yeah. An abominable Lady Kira's figure who slew me and Acolyte Zealot was the accused. This is bad, but I can't give up now. Don't forget, my client doesn't have the strength to fight rebels either. How could a weak young woman like her possibly... You foolish oaf of a lawyer. If only you were as blessed as Lady Inmi. What? You want to be pregnant? Surely the accused possesses the strength, or should I say the power. And the power to battle those black-hearted rebels. What are you talking about? My bird prosecutor, I see you have come to the same conclusion as I. Such keen insight. When you have figured it out as well, Abbot Inmi, may I ask you to explain to this putrid-brained lawyer? Certainly, for I cannot allow it to frame my lovely wife for murder. Foreign devil! Your Majesty, allow me to testify as to how Maya Fey is the murderous Lady Kira. Well, if it would assuage your anger, then by all means, please testify. She appears to be first trimester. Yeah. Maya Fey is Lady Kira. Acolyte Fey channeled Lady Kira's spirit. She is a spirit medium who knows Lady Kira's true name, so she could have done it. So it was the real Lady Kira who returned to the root of the rebels among us. She attacked and killed me with a strength far beyond any mortal woman. But do you understand now? Murder by spirit channeling explains everything. This is the only way the accused could have defeated one rebel after another. So then she's not the murderer. You're literally just saying that she didn't do it, a spirit did. But I guess we've had issues with this before. Indeed, I am a living, or shall I say dead proof of her terrible power. Terrible. Maya's ability to channel spirits is come back to haunt her. Now, is it not time to let go and move on, defense? Can you shut up? No, never. I'll never give up. Now what? Think. How can I prove that Maya couldn't have channeled Lady Kira? Time to press on everything again.
Hold it!
My client channeled Lady Kira? Isn't that a little far-fetched? Far-fetched, you say? Why, the very fact that I am here proves that she has the power to channel spirits. Ugh. But you have no proof she actually channeled Lady Kira. Oh, but I do. That's not proof. That's your testimony. Physical proof, man. Oh, but I guess your testimony is counted as proof.
Hold it!
While it's true she may be capable of channeling Lady Kira, I doubt there's any proof she actually did. We are talking about the infamous rebel hunter here. The modern-day Lady Kira has captured many a rebel all by herself, and among them have been more than a few great warriors. Who but the real Lady Kira could have accomplished such a feat? It would be difficult for a mere mortal. She was a mere mortal. What are you talking about? That leaves the real Lady Kira of legend as the only likely answer. There's no one in the real world that can match her strength. Indeed. This is not proof enough that the real Lady Kira of legend has been channeled. The real Lady Kira of legend? That's an oxymoron if I've ever heard one. Then again, the people of Khu'rain believe legends to be true. It's time we make a new legend then.
Hold it!
Lady Kira is an actual person. Do you really believe there ever was a woman that powerful? One capable of battling rebels much bigger and stronger than herself? There is no way to prove that. But to doubt the existence of Lady Kira is to doubt Khu'rainism itself. Well, that's very easily doubtable, so it is not for us to question. We must simply believe. Yeah, how dare you doubt our legends? You'll regret saying that, you Pontonkan. Lady Kira's gonna strike you down. She can come and try. Oh, I won't go anywhere until I can refute whether her claims with some evidence. She killed and attacked me with a strength far beyond any mortal woman. But we know that you're the one that ran at them.
Hold it!
A strength far beyond any mortal woman. And just how strong would that be? You need but look at the wounds she inflicted upon my body. Though I had hoped I'd never have to think about that again. Your wound. It was pretty deep and there was a tremendous amount of blood. And while Acolyte Zealot was rather small in stature, he was strong. Nevertheless, he was no match for the sheer strength of Lady Kira. Maya's spirit channeling is proof that she's Lady Kira. This is not good. We'll have to prove she didn't channel the original Lady Kira. Alright, I need to go here. I need to look at the thing. He's been inflicted by the war by dagger used on the right. The mark on his face is unbornable. Body was buried. Body stained red when the inner section was down the right. I wish I could show the thing. Is it this I need to show? Because we know that he ran at her. It wasn't that Lady Kira ran at him. Whoops. I guess I can present it.
Objection!
No. Something the matter. Sorry, I just coughed. Here's some cough droplets and a punishment for you. Boom. Oh. Maybe I can present.
Hold it!
No, I don't want to press there. Blah blah blah. I wish there was like an actual fast forward button that fast forwarded everything rather than just the text. I'm just wondering... Well, she didn't have this, but she knew it had the name, so I can't really present this. Yeah, actually, she couldn't have known because she didn't know it until the purification rite, which was recent. So she couldn't have been doing it this whole time. Okay.
Objection!
The Tome of Secrets is only given to the priestess who performs the purification rite. Is this your proof that my client could have channeled Lady Kira? Yes, indeed. For it contains the true name of Lady Kira, a secret only revealed within. Abbot in me. I'm afraid you're mistaken. This couldn't have been used to channel Lady Kira. What nonsense! Mr. Wright, would you care to explain? This is why my client couldn't have channeled Lady Kira. Wait, what? What am I presenting? What? No, that's not what... why am I presenting something on this? Because I can't see the face? I don't know.
Take that!
Lady Kira's face is hidden behind a mask in the Tome of Secrets. Wait, I vaguely remember something about faces being need to see. Yeah, you both need a name and a face to channel a spirit. It can't be! Without a face, it would have been impossible for my client to channel Lady Kira. Well, my thing was that she didn't have the thing until the purification rite was coming up, so she wouldn't have had 2 years to do all of that. Oh my. Therefore, the claim that she became Lady Kira by means of spirit channeling is patently false. And with Lady Kira out of the equation, my client has no motive to commit murder. But then, who is the rebel-hunting Lady Kira we've been reading about in the paper? Yes, who is his other suspect, if indeed there was one at all? Let us hear the defense's brilliant deduction. Think. The true identity of Lady Kira is the key to solving both murders. I thought Mrs. Inmee was suspicious, but her pregnancy takes her out of the running. Not really, but okay. And Mr. Arabal is a rebel, so that doesn't make sense. That leaves us with... Mr. Wright, you have look again. The one where you know you have to say something, but you can't figure out what it is. This is my chance to really turn up the heat. I'll just have to stir the pot till something floats to the top. Your Majesty, I know who's been posing as the rebel-hunting Lady Kira. You do? Are you sure about that? Yes, completely. I sense that I may regret this, but please go on and explain. Thank you, Your Majesty. This is who's been posing as the rebel-hunting Lady Kira. Is it going to be the guy? Is it going to be him? Because it kind of would make sense. And when the pillar fell on him, if he was wearing the cloak at the time, it would have been caught on the statue. So then when the abbot saw it, he thought it was Lady Kira and rushed at her, with then in turn getting stabbed by the statue. Right? I'm going to go with this for now. If it's not him, then it's the other monk.
Take that!
The true identity of the rebel-hunting Lady Kira we seek is... Khu'rain Zealot. What's this? The High Priest's murdered disciple was Lady Kira, you say? Peace, I say peace. The defense will continue. Yes, Your Majesty. I whittled down the list of suspects until there was only one left.
Objection!
My process of elimination is not the same as solid evidence. I assume you have evidence to back up your claim. Yes, of course. We'll have some in a moment, that is. At least I hope so. Maya wasn't Lady Kira, and neither was Mrs. Inmee, or any other possibilities. That leaves Zealot, and I have evidence to prove it. The evidence that proves Acolyte Zealot was posing as Lady Kira is this. I guess it would be this. Because again, this is the only way solely one capable of entering the priest's home could have delivered it. So
Take that!
this is what proves that Acolyte Zealot was Lady Kira. Lady Kira's warning letter. How absurd. What could that possibly prove? Prosecutor Samadi, you stated that this was a warning letter. Letter proved that my client was Lady Kira, and the reason you gave was that the High Priest's house was locked tight. But there was another member of the family who lived there. Therefore, Acolyte Zealot could have delivered the warning anytime he wanted. What is he talking about? That's just not possible. Are you saying Lady Kira was not the culprit, but rather the victim? That's exactly what I'm saying. But that would overturn the entire premise of this case. This trial has proceeded on the assumption Lady Kira was behind the serial killings. But if Lady Kira is one of the victims, who was the killer and what was their motive? The only suspect left is Mrs. Inme, and there's only one possible motive. What if Miss Inme is a rebel? What? Fiend, you were still bent on casting suspicion on my lovely wife? Blasphemer! You have no evidence of this, but repent for your mistrust in your soul.
Objection!
Well, you have no evidence either. After all, the dagger with my client's prints on it wasn't what killed Acolyte Zealot. And the Punisher theme that he heard could have been an alarm clock. That means all of the evidence linking her to the crime have been called into question. Was Lady Inme a rebel, and did she pose a Lady Kira to kill Acolyte Zealot? Or was Acolyte Zealot a rebel who was an accused? And was the accused the Lady Kira who could have killed him? I would say either scenario is just as likely. What are we to do now? The alarm clock, you say? Do you mean the one in the rebel hideout? Yes, but what of it? So that's it. What's gone into him? That thing was broken. I've been in me. What is just so comical? Forgive me for my outburst. That was simply tickled my funny bone. What did? The theme song came from the plumed Punisher clock, you say? If he says he's going to say it is broken, could not possibly have gone off. What makes you say that? The clock was working just fine the last time I checked. Try using your head for a change. Would not the existence of a secret hideout be given away if an alarm kept going off? Wait, you don't mean... Indeed, we leave the alarm switched off at all times. No! Well, I already know the answer to this, because I didn't notice it until a few moments ago, so... In that case, I'm sad to say that the defense's claim does not hold water. Would you care to respond, Mr. Wright? Oh, this can't be happening. Not now. This should put an end to the lawyer's futile struggles. The theme song the victim heard was on the accused's strap, just as we suspected. Therefore, the accused is the rebel hunting Lady Kira and the victim's killer. I need an opening, something I can raise an objection to. That Plume Punisher theme song Acolyte Zealot heard in his final moments. I too heard it by the way of listening twice. But did you really? If you heard it, why didn't you testify to the fact before? Is it not obvious? I do not know such a tool could become a heated matter of dispute. That's bullshit. You should be listing everything that happened regardless of whether you think it's important or not. Yes, the matter of the theme song came up before Abbott Inme was channeled. Oh, right. Well then, what if he's lying about the clock's alarm being switched off? Miserable wretch! That would be pointless lie, one easily disproven. If you check the clock, you will see that the alarm is in fact switched off. Ugh, come to think of it. Oh, what a fine item! And this switch, if I'm right. We set the switch back to the off position before we left. I remember hearing it clearly. Those distinctive taiko drums in the intro are etched in my mind. They went... Dong-a-dong-dong-dong-dong. Distinctive taiko drums in the intro. This trial has gone on far too long. Shall we move ahead to the verdict, please, now? By all means, and let us also return Abbot Inmi's spirit to the Twilight Realm. Before I go, let me say a word to my darling wife.
Objection!
Now, hold on just 1 minute. Your Majesty. Yes? The High Priest's statement is inconsistent with a certain piece of evidence. It is? Still, you rive in defiance of your fate. The very sight reminds me of a tortured soul writhing in flames. I am the flames, baby! You won't be saying that once I show you the evidence. Now, all I have to do is pick the right one. This piece of evidence is inconsistent with the statement about the taiko drum intro.
Take that!
This is what is inconsistent with this statement. My client's Plume Punisher strap. What does that have to do with anything? It plays the Plume Punisher theme song. And here it is, the theme of the Plume Punisher Warrior of Neo Twilight Realm. Do you see what I mean? The music the victim heard in his final moments might not have been the Plume Punisher theme song. I'm afraid I am not following you. What is it that's not, if not the Plume Punisher theme? In his final moments, Acolyte Zealot heard the Steel Samurai theme. There are no taiko drums in the intro of the Plume Punisher theme. So what Acolyte Zealot actually heard in his final moments was, you're still wrong, Repotron, it's the same song, just because they got different instruments. I get what you're trying to say, but you're not saying it the right way. No, I get what you mean. But it's the same song, they're just done differently. The theme of the Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo Old Tokyo. Peace, 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 I say. Mr. Wright, what is this Steel Samurai of which you speak? The Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo Old Tokyo is an action hero from America. The Plume Punisher theme is a total rip. It's very similar to it. If you didn't know about the Steel Samurai, you could easily mistake the two. The fact that the Acolyte Zealot heard music from an American action hero show is irrefutable evidence that the accused was in the secret hideout. Actually, no. You have it backwards. Backwards? That's right. Miss Faye met an avid Plume Punisher fan here in Khu'rain. And as a token of their friendship, she traded a certain Steel Samurai item she had for a Plume Punisher strap. And this avid Plume Punisher fan was the one who killed Acolyte Zealot? Yes. And the avid fan is none other than the High Priestess' wife. Believe in me.
Objection!
Do you have evidence to back up this claim, Mr. Wright? For as forgiving as the Holy Mother is, I doubt she would tolerate yet another dose of your baseless slander. I suggest you prepare yourself to face Her Holiness's wrath. Oh, I'm prepared to turn this entire case upside down, that is. This is my last chance. I better take a deep breath and review the evidence. Very well, then. Please present your evidence, if you would, defense. The evidence that proves Miss Inmi was the one who killed Acolyte Zealot is this. Now I can present this.
Take that!
It's right here in this family photo. Proof that Miss Inmi and Miss Faye traded items featuring their favorite characters.
Objection!
A family photo? I did the wrong voice. And what exactly should we be looking at here? The proof that they exchanged figures favoriting their favorite items is here. Whatever.
Take that!
Look at Mrs. Inmi's left wrist. You can see the Steel Samurai trademark top knot right there. which clearly makes this a Steel Samurai watch. Why, I never knew your wife had such hobbies, Abbott and me. This family photo was taken right before Acolyte Zealot was murdered. By that point, my client had the Punisher strap and Miss Inmi had the Samurai watch. So what the victim heard in his final moments was none other than the sound of the watch Mrs. Inmi was wearing. I wish we remember my testimony. What I thought were tiger drums or something else. Oh, I've never had such a watch. In truth, I tell you, you must believe me, Your Majesty. Be not deceived by the defense's loyally chicanery. Now what? He's been pretty quiet up to this point. What does he have up his sleeve? There's a big gaping hole in his flimsy claim. A big gaping hole? I don't think so. Oh no, I'm afraid there is, alright. Just like the big gaping holes in your putrid brain. My brain is neither putrid nor full of holes. I'm not a zombie after all. Says the dead lawyer walking. He who is narrow in vision focuses on what is before him, never seeing the big picture. So, you talking about yourself here? Or as they say in your country, you cannot see the forest in the trees, or for the trees. But it is as if you said, whatever. And Lady Inmi the rebel slew Acolyte Zealot the rebel hunting Lady Kira. But then the rebel hunter would have been dead before the high priest was slain. Oh, that means the high priest could have not have been slain by the rebel hunting Lady Kira. How could I have missed that? We didn't miss it. I didn't. I know what the answer is. No, so tell me, who were you trying to say killed the high priest now? No! Do you finally understand the sheer size of the hole that riddled your putrid brain? Ugh, I'm in hot water now. I don't have any other suspects in the high priest's murder. You're mindless zombie. You should have begun your journey into the Twilight Realm long ago. Now let it go and move on. No, I will never give up. I just need to think things through and figure it out. Who really killed the high priest? Brain time? Brain time! Yeah! If Acolyte Zealot had been Lady Kira, he couldn't have killed the high priest. So the question is, who did it? Maybe I can get to the bottom of this by reviewing the evidence of this case in order. What evidence could tell me about the crime scene before the murder? Whee! Even faster! The spring was stained red before the rite! Oh right, Maya said the spring had been stained red before the rite even began. The spring was already red before the high breeder concussed of Zealot's blood. The spring was stained red by Zealot's blood. That's right, Zealot had been killed in the rebel hideout the day before the rite. And his blood had flowed into the spring. Wait a second, the high priest knew that Zealot had been killed in the hideout. So why didn't he report it to the authorities? If Maya had been the killer, he could have easily had arrested her on the spot. Why didn't the high priest inform the authorities then? Keep the hideout hidden. He wanted to keep the hideout secret. If he reported Pure Zealot's murder, the authorities would find out about the hideout. That's what he was worried about. But by going through the rite, the high priest risked having Maya see the spring running red with blood. Why did he have to go through with the rite? Did he want to set up the scene? Use the rite to cover things up. He wanted to step up the crime scene to conceal the hideout. We're going so fast now! But how was he planning to conceal the source of blood in the spring? Used his own blood. Stained the spring with his own blood. He concealed the source of the blood with his own. And that was how he was able to keep the rebel hideout a secret. It was all starting to fall into place. I know who killed the High Priest. It was Tarust himself. He killed himself. This is definitely a twist. Let me just make sure there's nothing else that I need to do here. Nothing for chapter 3, 4, whatever this one is. So, yeah. Back to the game. Trust himself. Whee! Tarust's death was a suicide. I can't believe it. The High Priest took his own life to keep the rebel hideout a secret. The High Priest wasn't murdered by anyone. He took his own life to keep the rebel hideout a secret. What? What? What's this? I'm getting there, yeah! The High Priest committed suicide? I've never heard anything more absurd.
Objection.
The lawyer has placed a stain on the good priest's death with his putrid brain. Its putrid gaping holes are as large as the hole in his logic. What hole? You still fail to understand. You truly cannot see the forest for the trees. You claim the High Priest took his own life. But have you considered who brought the dagger to the Plaza of Devotion? After the High Priest was killed, the dagger was thrust into Acolyte Zealot's dead body. Only the accused Maya Fey could have done that. It is as good as somebody says. Your claim is rather porous in its logic, and your evidence is too weak. You cannot prove that the High Priest took his own life to conceal the rebel hideout. They're right. The dagger was impaled in Zealot's body. You can't negate the Brain Palace. His body had been placed at the plaza the previous day. Well, Mr. Wright, would you care to respond? Zealot's body was already in the plaza the day before the rite. But what if the dagger was already in him at the time? The dagger was never in the inner sanctum. Rust died by a different weapon. Of course, that's it. What is it? There was no need to move the dagger. It had already been stabbed into Acolyte Zealot's body the day before the rite. What? So that means... What does that mean? It means the dagger wasn't the weapon that took the High Priest's body life. But no weapon was ever found at the inner sanctum. If you will not listen to reason, then I insist you prove your assertion. Show us what you believe a real murder weapon to be. The real weapon? Got nothing, but I know there had to been a weapon there. Maybe if I think back on the trial thus far, I'll spot the clue I need. I already know! Well, would the defense care to tell us what this real murder weapon is? This is what really killed the High Priest.
Take that!
Unless I need to do the other thing. You believe that to be what took his life? I need to present something different. Do you truly believe the High Priest could have been killed by such an item? I do not recall ever seeing that. You just heard it from the horse's mouth. And now you'll hear this from mine. Penalty! I have to present some conclusive evidence, or it's all over. We thought the High Priest had been killed by the Warbad dagger, but if it was something else that had killed him, it would have been the dagger-like shape. I know what it is, you just not let me present the right thing. Are you prepared to show us what evidence but he took his life? This is what really killed him.
Take that!
I guess this also works. What really killed him has been in the inner sanctum this whole time, and its lethality has already been demonstrated by the late Acolyte Zealot. That's right, it was the Warbad statue. Yeah, get beat up by your balls again! Oh, God. I believe that the statue claimed both victims' lives. Would you care to chime in, Abbot in me? No, he lies. Pay him no heed. Wait, it's his wife? Yeah! My guess is coming out swinging. Lady in me. Darling, don't you think this has gone on long enough? Believe, no! Your Majesty, my wife knows nothing. She's insane. She has a brain problem. She's lying. Please, Abbot Inmi, you'll let your wife speak. Now, Lady Inmi, please continue if you would. It's that time again. What time would that be? 2:30 in the afternoon. The time my husband conducts his daily prayers. And the time Khu'rain was slain. So, it's a steel samurai alarm. I too like to pray at the same time as my dear husband. So I set an alarm to remind me each day, but I had no idea it would come to this. No, stop! She knows not what she speaks! Your Majesty, I am the one who slew Acolyte Zealot. Abandon me! Bailiff, summon a physician at once. A physician? He's dead! He's controlling someone else's body! The physician is now attending the high priest, so there's no need to fear. Now let us continue. And what about the half of him called Maya that's still among the living? Mrs. Inmi, will you tell us everything you know? The truth is, I am a rebel just like my husband. This tragedy unfolded before the rite, during the Feast of Blessings. I had gone to the rebel hideout to prepare for Dats's escape. I mean, yeah, but they're treating it, like Phoenix was saying, they were treating it as though it was his body, when it's not really. And that's when Acolyte Zealot suddenly appeared? Yes. Khu'rain was shocked when he saw me there. Acolyte Zealot did not know you were a rebel? I do not believe he did. I believe he was there simply to investigate the hideout. And then he suddenly came face to face with Mrs. Inmi. So the true identity of the rebel-hunting Lady Kira was Khu'rain Zealot? Yes. He was a member of the secret police, serving directly under the Minister of Justice. The secret police? This is really like China. And this is what he said to me. I can kill rebels with impunity. The Justice Minister has my back. Wow! He was using his position within the secret police to deal us rebels a heavy blow. But murder sanctioned by the Crown is still murder. Even I can't remember how I did for his voice. Even with the DC Act. Dirk, and the insurgent scum buddies are days unnumbered. What's that supposed to mean? Oh yeah, this is flashback. Let's just say I got a little trick up my sleeve. So I'd watch it if I were you. Because you got a defiant attitude, like one of them dragon dupes. The trick up Minister Inga's sleeve was Lady Kira. But no, this can't be. My father would never. This must be a bolt out of the blue for Rafa. Didn't she leave? This explains why Acolyte Zealot abandoned his real name. Yes. He even went as far as covering up the tattoo with that Khu'rainist clergy members receive. Lady Kira was a member of the secret police. That explains why no order was given to investigate her attacks. I guess I'm not alone in hearing this for the first time. But, this cannot be. Is this true? The Justice Minister is sanctioning state-sponsored murder? Peace. Now, Lady Inmi, please continue. Khu'rain suddenly lunged at me, and that's when I pushed the stone slab toward him with all my might. So it was self-defense. But even I never meant for what happened next to occur. Allow me to take it from here. Abandon me. Are you sure you're all right now? I am sorry for what you had to see that. But you need not worry about me. I am already dead. Please. I need to know what was so important that you would take your own life. I mean, yeah. He does canonically sign death warrants to relieve stress. After I learned that my wife had accidentally slain Zealot, I chilled his body with snow to make it seem as if he died more recently than he did. Then I later moved it to the Plaza Devotion and inserted the dagger into his wound. The plaza was empty at that time, for it was before prayer time had started. Finally, I placed his body in the prayer pose, knowing that no one would notice anything was wrong until the rite had concluded. It is perfectly plausible that no one would disturb him if he seemed to be praying. We do treasure our prayer time, after all. So you admit that you tried to pin his crime on Maya Fey? Why does this song sound familiar? Is this like an updated old song? Yes, that was all my doing. I never told my wife of my plan, for surely she would have tried to stop me. How did you get Miss Fay's fingerprints on the dagger? I had her hold it while we were rehearsing the rite the day before. And right before the rite, I drugged her with a sleeping agent. Then I put Lady Kira's robes over the Warbad statue. That means Maya was probably already groggy by the time the rite started. Finally, I ended up my own life, to ensure that the crime would not appear to have been Acolyte Faye's own hand. But when your body was discovered, Lady Kira's robes were on the ground. How did they end up there if they were on the statue? After I impaled myself on one of the statue's dagger-like feathers, I used the last out of my strength to hurl my body backwards. As I did, I grabbed onto the ropes, taking them with me as I fell onto the ground. How terrible. What possessed you to do such a thing? You needn't have committed suicide simply to frame the accused. Prosecutor Samadi, as one well-versed in our kingdom's legal system, I would expect you of all people to understand. Understand what? This kingdom's legal system, Mrs. Inmi's crime, your suicide. It can't be. That would be sadder than sad. Why, I believe the defense knows of what the High Priest speaks. Yes, I finally understand. This explains why the High Priest took his own life. Those who would support criminals will be deemed with just as guilty.
Take that!
The Defense Culpability Act. Circumstantial evidence supports Mrs. Inmi's killing of Acolyte Zealot in self-defense. However, it would be next to impossible to prove it without a lawyer. That's why the High Priest wanted to pin the crime on Maya Fey. I fail to see what that has to do with this suicide. In Khu'rain, the divination seance is the most important piece of trial evidence. The High Priest wanted to frame Miss Fey as a serial killer. It was a clever plan in which he made sure he'd see Lady Kira in his final moments. The lawyer speaks true. That is why I placed Lady Kira's robes upon the Warbad statue. I made it seem that Acolyte Faye was the rebel-hunting Lady Kira. But are you saying you used my divination seance to produce false evidence? Forgive me your benevolence, but it was the only way to help my lovely wife. If you had approached me first, I could have proved that the murder was in self-defense. Perhaps, but I had little faith in lawyers despite being a rebel. How utterly foolish to cast away one's life for such a reason. There must have been some other ways to cover up the crime. He's like, you should have covered this up a different way. Yet I had done so. My wife would rush to my defense, and when the defense went to trial, she would suffer the same fate as I under the Defense Culpability Act. I could not have lived with myself had she been convicted because of that fiendish man. This cannot be. All I have done under the laws of our kingdom, it has all been... Poor Rafa. She's really taking this hard. And she should! It's a terrible law! It makes no sense! It's bad for everyone! Except for the accused. Or, no, the other person. Whatever. The other side. The prosecution. There we go. I got it eventually. I don't know why I forgot the word. But I can't say I'm surprised. Mr. Phoenix Wright, it is time to show the might of your legal prowess. You mustn't allow another innocent soul to be charged under that despicable law. course. I'll do whatever I can. What I have done to you and Acolyte Faye is unforgivable. I can only offer my most humble of apologies. Your Majesty. I'm not saying it's her fault, it's just that she needs to see that it was wrong. Yes? Oh, yes? I ask that you please look after my wife. You have my word. Your benevolence, it is time that I return to the Twilight Realm. Please put the shirt back on. Don't embarrass Maya. The Magatama are parting, if you please. I mean, she doesn't need to give it to you. Maya can just cease the channeling. Very well. Your benevolence, please allow me the honor. Yes, it would be more fitting for you to send him on his way. This is in me. Stabs Maya. Just takes a knife, stabs her. Darling, I'm so glad I was able to see you one last time. Thank you for everything. There we go. You put the shirt back on. Great. I'm sorry to leave you like this, my love. But now you can watch over me from the world beyond. Yes, always and forever. With every breath I take, my darling, I'll be thinking of you. I'll be watching you. There goes the spirit. Maya vanished. Farewell, my darling Trust. Hey, Maya. Things have gone fine. The High Priest has returned to the Twilight Realm. Maya. I feel great. Guess that means he didn't leave any regrets behind. Oh, but what about the trial, Nick? It's over. It was a sad reality born of love and a great tragedy born of the Defense Culpability Act. Well, I see no need to continue this trial. Does the prosecution have anything to say? Mr. Phoenix Wright. I owe a debt to you, one that I will repay back in court someday. That could be both a threat, but also a positive thing. I owe you a debt of death. Now, to deliver today's verdict and overturn that of yesterday's trial. With respect to all current and previous charges against them, I hereby declare the accused Maya Fey and her defense, Phoenix Wright, not guilty. Yeah! No celebration, just butterflies. I wonder what happens when people are found guilty. Because, like, we've been found guilty, but it doesn't show us what happens properly. We just get booted out. Like, do butterflies still come out? Purple. Pink. Oh. 4:20 p.m. on the May 12th. Accused. Lobby. So, I was thinking, Nick, the legal system here is really stacked up against the defense. Gumshoe isn't here to throw confetti. And no one's here to go, yeah! It's totally unfair. Yeah, it even forced the High Priest to make the ultimate sacrifice just to protect his wife. It's just so sad. We take the status quo or join the revolution. If the real Lady Kira were here, I wonder which side she would take. The benevolence? Huh? What? I was, just wondering. Are you alright? Quiet, you. How could I possibly be alright? Happy music, and she's sad. Yeah, she's not doing well at all. Who do you think you are, suddenly appearing before me? Trampling my insights underfoot and plunging the whole of justice into utter chaos. You even desecrated my mother and father's teachings, you soulless infidel. Ooh, that was a bit more extreme than usual. What am I to do? I had always believed that communing with the victim's mitama would lead me to absolute truth. But each time you've overturned my insights, it was revealed that they served to support false charges rather than the truth. I am left now with the heavy truth in my heart. I'm sorry, Rafa. Perhaps I am not worthy of hearing the voices of the mitama. I don't know what this is. That's where you're wrong, but it's the hook. It's goofy. What? Oh, it's you, okay. Maya? How dare you? Your role is to bring forth the voices of a Mitana into our world. If you don't do it, who will? You know nothing, Maya Fey. It was a spirit channeling, not a divination seance that brought the truth to light. How dare an outsider like you employ the Queen's sacred art? What can I do? My spiritual power does not even approach yours. It's not a cruel joke. Royal priestess bested by a lowly outsider. Don't be so hard on yourself. Why not? Is it worth at least a laugh or two? You shouldn't talk like that. Huh? Listen, your benevolence. You were just fulfilling your duty, weren't you? And you're the only one capable of performing the divination seance, right? The station of Royal Priestess is not something to abandon lightly. The station of Royal Priestess. The people of your kingdom believe in you, but if you really mean all that you just said, why does she look suddenly a lot older? Then what are they supposed to believe in? You know not of what you speak. Actually, I kinda do. After all, I'm only here training so I can become the master of my village back home. A village master, you say? I did not know. It seems I owe you an apology. For even today, I called you a neophyte practitioner. It's alright, your benevolence. Thank you for finally acknowledging me. A future queen and a future village master. Guess it shouldn't be a surprise. Considering they may have had a common ancestor. Maya's right, your benevolence. Wow, Ted. Your insights were a crucial piece of evidence in this last trial. It doesn't matter if they weren't always 100% accurate. You should be proud of what you did. You played an important role in ensuring that justice was served. Please don't make her too full of herself again. It's just like, you were perfect, princess. Everything else was wrong. And besides, your insights aren't the problem here. It's your kingdom's legal system. Without lawyers, your insights have come to be accepted as the sole truth. And the Defense Culpability Act which gave rise to that is the root of it all. But that is the dangerous thinking of a rebel. Your benevolence. As Crown Princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how you keep people happy, and what is true and what is false. And most importantly, what role you might play therein. I wonder if I am even up to the task. Knowing you, your benevolence, you're more capable. I never heard Maya talk like this before. She's really come a long way. Is there something wrong with her? Did summoning in me provide her with wisdom? Boom. What was that? It came from the hallway. Smoke! We better get out! Go check it out. Hurry! We're ready. It's like, we better run! It's like, you're the guards. You're supposed to run to the danger. Mrs. Inme. Mr. Wright, Acolyte Faye, I'm so sorry for what transpired. You were almost sentenced to death because of me. And now I have to kill you. I will make amends by picking up where my husband left off. I will see the revolution through, so nothing like this can ever happen again. For that is the death of my love for my dearly departed husband. Lady Indy, we gotta hurry! That voice, is that Mr. Arabal? I must tell the people. They must learn that the peace we enjoy is a false one. one built on the backs of innocents charged with false crimes under the odious DC Act. We have it in our power to forge a society in which the Lord judges us all fairly. Hey there, PW. Wish we had more time to talk, but... Dirk, everything's ready. It's go time. Dirk. Oh, hi. You look cool. You don't look as, like, muscly as the artwork made you seem. Wait, is that the rebel leader, Dirk? After him, don't let him get away. The power to forge a society in which the law judges us all fairly. It's the start of a legal revolution. Hey, Nick. Hate to bother you while you're lost in your thoughts and, you know, chaos is going on around us. But I just got this great idea. What is it? Steel Samurai versus the Rebel Dirk. I bet it'd make for another awesome TV show. And if we threw the Pooh Punisher in there, everyone would go nuts over it. I'll never get what she sees in those shows. But it's good to know that no matter what happens, Maya will always be Maya. Even if she becomes matured. Yeah, why is he sad? Feathers. The gate. Maya looks great. Yeah! We finished. It's episode 3 done. I think that's 2 more to go, plus the DLC one. That was a great case. I'm just saying it. That was fun. To be fair, I've been enjoying each of these cases. This game has been great so far, which makes me wonder how come people don't like this one as much. Like, before I played this, I just heard a bunch of complaints that it was terrible and boring. But every moment I played it, it's been a lot of fun. It's been better than freaking the first Apollo Justice game. That game was boring at times. There were cool moments, but overall it was just kind of like, eh. This is like, it's just getting better and better each case. It's great. I'm saving again, because, you know. But that is a great place to stop. I still find it funny that, like, an explosion just happened and there's chaos going everywhere. And Maya's just like, hey, about this TV show I want to make. Maya's still Maya. But yeah, this was great. I enjoyed this. We'll be continuing this on Thursday. How long have we actually been going? It's almost been 2 hours, right? Yeah, now I'm 40. So, next case is kind of filler. Well, I guess we'll find out whether it's going to be good or not. Because sometimes filler can be good. Like, there are very few cases where there is the case. And sometimes it's very bad. Like, the Bleach fillers from Bleach. Those fillers are the bane of my soul. And I hate them. Anyway, that sidetracked. We shall continue this on Thursday, where we will play the next case and see where it goes up there. I forgot what I was saying now. But yeah, this has been fun. Hope everyone enjoyed as much as I did. I know I enjoyed myself. I'll be back tomorrow with Starfield some more. Like I said, that's still a test stream, so we're still testing to see how it is, whether it's going to be good or bad. I have issues with how it seems to, like, affect my PC. I don't know why. No other game does it. But it seems to affect my internet, my CPU, the way it loads. I have to load it multiple times until it starts working. You know, the game is broken, but yeah, we'll see until the end of the week. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope everyone enjoyed as usual. Like I've said, like, follow, subscribe, do that bell notification so you know when I next stream. And if you like what I do, there's links to Patreon tips in the description or underneath the video as well. And if you do become a patron, you get your name added to the patron list here, where I give you a shout out at the end of every stream. I thank you for the continued support, and I greatly appreciate you. Any amount helps, even the lowest. But yeah, like I do with Khu'rain, the Soulmaster 37. I don't know if I said the names already, but yeah, thank you for the continued support. I greatly appreciate you. And we managed to talk to a spirit and get the truth out of them by squeezing their soul. But yeah, we'll see you pick this up on Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow, like I said, with Starfield. So until then, I'll take care. I'll see you tomorrow or Thursday. Bye, everyone. Bye, Arfatron. Bye, everyone else. Bye-bye.